decision. It was very, very tough. And I came out immediately and I said, we want to help women. This is fertilization. They're having a hard time having a baby, to put it very simply. And they're helped by clinics and others. And all of a sudden, it was stopped in Alabama. And I put out a very strong statement that we're totally in favor of it. I got a call from Katie Britt, a very wonderful young senator in Alabama. And she said friends of mine were coming up and like almost attacking her. They were so upset about it. And I said, what's the issue? What is it? Explain. What is it exactly? And we're talking about the IVF. And I said, we want that. We want people to help. We're on the side of women. And same thing on the abortion issue. The abortion issue, now, I'm for the exceptions like Ronald Reagan was for the exceptions. And I think it's very important to be
mother's life.
Correct. Life of the mother. I think it's a very important thing, the exceptions.
He should take off on a flight, slimy and muddy, that's just what I like. I be sipping on mud. Bitch, I come from the mud.
What's good, everybody, man? Thank y'all for tuning back in the Slum World Network, man. Section 8 portion of the network. You already know it's me, your boy A-Ray. And thank y'all for tuning back in again. But we got a crazy reaction to, as y'all know, the presidential debate just went down. And shit, I mean, let's just dive into Kamala Harris reaction to the debate as she tried to defend the malarkey that was going on between Joe Biden, his responses. So without further ado, man, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you can get all my post notifications every time I post. But without further ado, let's get into it.
The debate of the 2024 presidential campaign is now history. The fallout from it is just getting started. Joining us now is Vice President Kamala Harris. Madam Vice President, thanks for being with us. CNN's John King has described a panic inside the Democratic Party right now because of President Biden's performance in tonight's debate. He's been hearing from Democratic lawmakers and others around the country. Some within your own party are wondering if President Biden should even step aside. What do you say to that?
Listen, first of all, what we saw tonight is the president making a very clear contrast with Donald Trump on all of the issues that matter to the American people. Yes, there was a slow start, but it was a strong.
We are very, very close to World War III.
But by the way, I told you before, I'm happy to play golf if you carry your own bag. Think you can do it?
That's the biggest lie that he's a 6 handicap of all.
I was an 8 handicap.
Yeah.
8.
Never.
But I had, how many?
I've seen you swing. I know you swing.
Okay,
let's not act like children.
President Trump, we're going to turn.
Let's not act like children.
You are
a
a child.
specific
I'd like to see him
concern.
take one, just one, a real easy one. Like go through the first 5 questions. He couldn't do it.
Like any black student is capable in college of doing any white student can do. They just have the money, but now they'll be able to get.
Oh, I've never seen him fire anybody. I did fire a lot. I fired Comey because he was no good. I fired a lot of the top people at the FBI, drained the swamp. They were no good.
Out of the Paris Peace Accord, Climate Accord, we reached 1.5 degrees Celsius.
And China, nothing. And
All right, let's go back to Kamala.
With Donald Trump on all of the issues that matter to the American people. Yes, there was a slow start, but it was a strong finish. And what became very clear through the course of the night is that Joe Biden is fighting on behalf of the American people, on substance, on policy, on performance. Joe Biden is extraordinarily strong.
But I'm sorry, on substance and policy and performance tonight, I mean, the president's performance tonight clearly was disappointing for.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, where'd she get that from? Was she watching the same debate we was watching? Because, I mean, I watched it. Like, I was supposed to be streaming tonight, but I literally didn't stream because I was watching the election. Did she see what was going on? Did she hear what they were saying? Like, I don't think she was paying attention to the same. Or it could be damage control. We don't know. But, hey. Let's continue.
His supporters, CNN is reporting Democratic lawmakers watching the debate were worried about the president's performance. One said it was a disaster. Another called it a train wreck. Those are Democrats especially worried that Biden did not punch back on Trump's lies.
Listen, people can debate on style points, but ultimately this election and who is the president of the United States has to be about substance. Donald Trump lied over and over and over again, as he is wont to do. He would not disavow what happened on January 6th. He would not give a clear answer.
One thing that was clear in previous testimony in this committee, corroborated by this testimony today, is that, troops from National Guard were authorized by the president at the time, Donald Trump, on January 4. They were authorized. It was testified in this committee they were authorized. D.C. was able to take advantage of them in the capacity that D.C. wanted to save for the couple of requests that you also wanted. One thing it's important to indicate, Mr. Chairman, is that for National Guard troops to be deployed to the Capitol, it requires a Capitol Police Board to actually issue a state of emergency for troops to come on Capitol grounds. And the police board is made up of the architect of the Capitol, the head of Senate security, the head of House security, and the chief of the Capitol Police. And by my understanding, 3 of those 4 people report to the Speaker of the House. And the Speaker of the House at that time was Nancy Pelosi. So when we want to talk about National Guard being here and the timetable of them getting here, it's important to understand that there were National Guard in the District of Columbia, and their limitation of coming to the Capitol was not due to anybody else, because the president is not authorized to deploy troops to the Capitol, separation of powers. It is at the hands of the Speaker of the House. And with that, I yield, and I apologize.
The election results this November. He went back and forth about where he stands on one of the most critical issues of freedom in America, which is the right of a woman to make decisions about their own body. He has been completely ambiguous and all over the place about where he stands on that issue, despite the fact that he hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade.
People thought overturning Roe v. Wade would end up being a good thing.
Right.
We know what the Democrats are going to do. They're going to demagogue Republicans like they always do. They're racist, sexist, misogynist, homophobic, all that stuff. But more important, democracy in peril. They hate Donald Trump, January 6th. But then the issue of abortion, I think it played a very big part. They demagogued that issue in 2022 in the midterm, and I think it hurt Republicans. You took a strong stand on IVF. Where are you on that, and what is your message to other candidates, and where are you on abortion?
So I saw the IVF, and a judge in Alabama made a very harsh decision. It was very, very tough. And I came out immediately and I said, we want to help women. This is fertilization. They're having a hard time having a baby, to put it very simply. And they're helped by clinics and others. And all of a sudden, it was stopped in Alabama. And I put out a very strong statement that we're totally in favor of it. I got a call from Katie Britt, a very wonderful young senator in Alabama. And she said friends of mine were coming up and almost attacking her. They were so upset about it. And I said, what's the issue? What is it? Explain. What is it exactly? And we're talking about the IVF. And I said, we want that. We want people to help. We're on the side of women. And same thing on the abortion issue. The abortion issue, now, I'm for the exceptions like Ronald Reagan was for the exceptions. And I think it's very important to be
mother's life.
Correct. Life of the mother. I think it's a very important thing, the exceptions. I also think that they are the radicals, because they will kill the baby in 8 months, 9 months. Under Roe v. Wade, they had the right to kill the baby after birth. I mean, literally after birth in some cases.
Well, that was the governor of Virginia at the time.
That's right.
I was talking to your friend Gavin Newsom. I asked him 4 times in a row. I said, are there any limitations at all? He would not answer.
Yeah.
A lot of Democrats said that that no government official should ever get between a doctor and her patient. Okay, that means no exceptions, but Dobbs said 15 weeks.
Right.
That's just about a little over first trimester.
So more and more I'm hearing about 15 weeks, and I haven't decided yet. Also, we got it back to the states where it belongs. And by the way, a lot of states are taking very strong stances. Ohio voted.
15 states, 15
That's
weeks.
Correct. I mean, a lot of states are taking very strong stances. You look at Kansas, Ohio, and it's going to be the law within the state.
As he said, he wanted to give it back to the state. Give it to the people. Let the people choose, Let democracy really flourish. Situation. So Kamala Harris just lied, per usual, as the Democrats do. They lie. So let's get back to it.
Across our country have been denied emergency health care,
All that may be true. All that may be true. But the president of the United States was not able to make that case to Donald Trump on the stage tonight. I mean, you debated against then Vice President Vice President Biden 4 years ago, and he was a very different person on the stage 4 years ago when you debated him. You must, I mean, that's certainly true, is it not?
Shout out to I don't know who this is. I don't know who this is, but shout out to him for holding the fire to Kamala about this, her saying that something ain't right with Joe. Everybody knows something ain't right with the boy, man. Everybody know that, man. But why do these people just keep denying it and saying he's strong and he's competent and he got it? You can literally hear this. Like, I just feel like they playing on our intelligence as if we're stupid enough to think that he's actually competent when we know he's not competent. If they think we're dumb enough to think he's competent, imagine how dumb they think we are. No, man, that man he has not got the wherewithal to understand nothing, man. Put him in a nursing home somewhere, pack him up, get him up out of here. You hear me? But shout out to dude for calling her out on her shenanigans. But I know, let me get back to it, y'all.
Anderson, the point has to be performance in terms of what a president does. A president who incites an insurrection against the Capitol. No, but I got the point that you're making about a 1.5 hour debate tonight. I'm talking about 3.5 years of performance in work that has been historic,
but
whether it be infrastructure.
Like, where is she getting this from? Like, what talking points is she getting this from? Because, like, what has he done? If y'all, please, somebody in the comment section, when y'all see this point, let me know where I'm getting it wrong. Where is all these accomplishments that they're talking about when the average American is struggling right now? They could not get anything done in 3 years that they said that they was going to do. Not saying I had faith that they was going to do anything, but they did not get anything done in 3 years. Trump got a lot done during, like, in the process of COVID and stuff, like all of that. But yet and still, things have got progressively worse and worse and worse each year that goes by. Now, if I'm saying something wrong, man, please correct me in the comments. I'm always open to the corrections. You understand? I like to do research and information. So if you know somewhere I need to be looking to check something out, please let me know. But where are these people getting the information? I think they literally just be trying to tell us things to make us think that this is okay. Like, things are terrible, but if they tell us things are good or getting better, that we would believe it. But they don't. So I don't know. Let's just keep listening to them talk. Again, I appreciate this guy for applying the pressure and asking the questions.
What we saw on the stage tonight is that the other guy on the debate stage.
The person that you saw on the debate stage that has, for the last 3.5 years, up until today, performed in a way that has been about, whether it be in the Oval Office, negotiating bipartisan deals so that we have an infrastructure, a real infrastructure plan where we're putting trillions of dollars on the streets of America to upgrade our infrastructure. Whether it be the person I see in the Oval Office who is meeting with heads of the military and the intelligence community and in the Situation Room, ensuring the safety of America. The person I see in Joe Biden on the world stage, convening world leaders who often ask for his advice, most recently just during the G7 conference. So I'm not going to spend all night with you talking about the last 90 minutes when I've been watching the last 3.5 years of performance.
But this was a debate that your campaign wanted. You pushed for this debate at this moment. Obviously, I mean, you
right? Wasn't it Joe Biden that went viral on X, or formerly known as Twitter, saying like, with the 6 cut edits video to make it seem like he was competent, saying like he would debate Donald Trump and he's not scared, but he thinks Donald Trump will back down. Like, isn't he the one that offered this? So now they're coming, and his team got to come and do damage control because y'all. I mean, it just beyond me for the people who think he's competent. It just says a lot about them. If they think he's competent to run America, then I don't know what's going on.
You can't honestly say, I mean, can you say that you are not concerned at all having watched the president's performance tonight?
It was a slow start. That's obvious to everyone. I'm not going to debate that point. I'm talking.
She said it was a slow start. I'm not going to debate that point. Let's say that again.
That's obvious to everyone. I'm not going to debate that point. I'm talking about the choice in November. I'm talking about one of the most important elections in our collective lifetimes, over 800,000 manufacturing jobs. I got that this is the afterplay for the debate, this conversation that I'm in, and I understand why everyone wants to talk about it, but I think it's also important to recognize that the choice in November between these two people that were on the debate stage involves extraordinary stakes. And there's one person on that stage who has the endorsement of their vice president, and that's Joe Biden. Mike Pence is nowhere to be found in supporting Donald Trump, and that's why he has to look for someone else to run with him, who, as we know, will embolden and rubber stamp whatever he wants, because they're going to have to make a choice to not be Mike Pence and to put Donald Trump over their country.
Neither person on that stage tonight made the argument as coherently as you just did. You mentioned reproductive rights. I'd like to just play that exchange that we saw tonight.
Under Roe v. Wade, you have late-term abortion. You can do whatever you want, depending on the state. You can do whatever you want. We don't think that's a good thing. We think it's a radical thing. We think the Democrats are the radicals, not the Republicans.
For 51 years, that was the law. 51 years, constitutional scholarship said it was the right way to go. 51 years, and it was taken away because this guy put very conservative members on the Supreme Court. He takes credit for taking it away. What's he going to do? What's he going to do, in fact, if the MAGA Republicans, he gets elected, and the MAGA Republicans control the Congress, and they pass a universal ban on abortion, period, across the board at 6 weeks or 7 or 8 or 10 weeks, something very, very conservative. Is he going to sign that bill? I'll veto it. He'll sign it.
To someone who watched this debate tonight and has serious concerns about the president of the United States, what do you say to them about what they just saw?
Yeah, I just understand why I'm not for abortion personally, but because I feel like I don't want to take and the special the exceptions to the rule, like being or incest or like anything that isn't unwarranted, anything that isn't legal, anything like I understand that, but as far as like just people having their own like decision making in the process, like I feel like it's up to them like to hold themselves accountable, and that men and women got to be that's what the children are. They're one, they're a blessing, but two, they're your accountability for what the decisions you made. So I feel like abortion is really just like a scapegoat for immoral people who don't like have that's what they're fighting for. But when you take that away, and the option for that to be taken away except for the exceptional circumstances, then you'll have a lot more of accountable people, and you'll have a lot more families, and it just could benefit in so many ways, especially if you get to talking about within the community and how like abortion really affects just one part of the community. I mean, one part of society the most, and how that is the number one killer of the children in that community. Like, it just, and all the other statistics that go along with that community, like, it's just a lot. You get what I'm saying? Like, it just would make common sense to just, let the people vote for that within their own individual states, which is actually by definition the definition of democracy. But anyway, let's get back to it.
So, they witnessed the fact that if Donald Trump were elected to be president of the United States this November, he will sign a national abortion ban. Take him at his word. He said he would when he was president before. He said if it came to his desk, he'd sign it. There's no reason to believe anything would change. A national abortion ban means that folks in New York, California, Maryland, all these other states that have protected the right of a woman to make decisions about her own body and not have her government tell her what to do will be at risk. That's what you should take away from that discussion.
And just
Joe
finally,
Biden was very clear.
I know we have to go.
He signed back into law the protections of Roe v. Wade.
The person we
These are
saw
big
tonight, the
issues,
president we saw
substantive
tonight on that
issues.
stage, is that how he is every day?
The Joe Biden that I work with every day is someone who, as I have said, has performed in a way that has been about bringing people into the Oval Office, Republicans and Democrats, to compromise in a way that is extraordinary these days because it just doesn't happen, but Joe Biden can make it happen. The Joe Biden I see is someone who goes to our allies around the world and strengthens NATO to the point that there are 2 new members of NATO existing. The Joe Biden I know is someone who has delivered 800,000 new manufacturing jobs and bringing manufacturing back to the United States, not shipping jobs out like Donald Trump did. So that's the Joe Biden I know.
Vice President Kamala Harris, I appreciate your time tonight. Thank you.
All 99 cents only stores are shutting down.
Bidenomics is working.
Rite Aid is now preparing to sell more than 100 stores.
Overwhelmingly positive.
After a century in business, Sam Ash is shutting down its stores.
Growth is strong.
Walmart has announced a new round of store closures.
No president's had the run we've had.
CVS Pharmacy will be closing 900 stores all over the country.
We're making progress.
Starbucks is joining the long list of large businesses to shutter stores.
We have the strongest economy in the world.
Planning to shut down about 1,000 of its stores nationwide.
Progress we've made.
Macy's is closing roughly 30% of its locations.
There's corporate greed going on out there.
The 150 closures will happen in the U.S.
Greedflation.
Planning to close 400 stores.
They have the money to spend. That's corporate greed.
If Joe Biden's mouth is moving, he's fucking lying or eating ice cream. This has been a public service announcement paid for by the Dilly Meme Team.
All right, y'all. That's all we got for that's all we got for this video, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all heard it, Kamala herself just capping and just damage controlling for what actually went down at the presidential debate, 2024 presidential debate, which was an amazing debate. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Donald Trump really did what he had to do. Y'all already know. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. Till next time, I'm out.